Trevor and I got married in June of 2013. I was 35, he was 37, and we knew we wanted to be parents. So we immediately started trying to have kids. And we tried for about 2 years with no success. Then we decided to go further in. We did some fertility procedures, and none of them were successful. I always wanted to be a mom. I mean, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a wife and a mom. It just wasn't happening, and I was just devastated. There's really no other way to describe it, just a cycle of grief all the time. Through this just constant, just hearing no, I still always knew God had a plan. His plan was different, and his plan was not for me to become a mom by having my own biological child. So, he really put on our heart to look into adoption. That wasn't easy either. We were matched with the baby that was stillborn. But I have to tell you, even when my faith was small, the people around me, I look back and I think it was everyone's prayer around me, our church, our friends, our family, that when I was just too weak and depleted to pray, they did. When I saw Mabry, there's no other time in my life where I can say that was God. And I saw her for the first time, and all of that grief and all of that sadness and, our babies that didn't make it and our baby that was stillborn, it all made sense. God wasn't saying no. He was just saying wait. And the wait was perfect, and the wait was worth it.
A lot of people know our story, Ryan and I's story. We tried to have kids naturally for about 2 years on our own. After we got to that year mark and we realized nothing was happening, we kind of got sent to the infertility doctor. We went down that route, with one in Kansas City. We tried that 4 times and it didn't work. So we heard of a doctor in Colorado. Of course, as we heard that, we're like, that's probably out of our realm of what we can do, but we didn't want to give up. We decided that was kind of going to be our last stop to do it on our own, Ryan and I. As we were getting ready to head out to Colorado, we called Chad and asked if we could have a prayer group here at church. When Chad talks about our story, he brings that up a lot. And I think that was a big part of us being very hopeful with us going to Colorado. I think that was the biggest part for me, was just saying, God, if this is it, then please show me some way or another. I know you will. I know it's in your plans. And I just kept telling myself, in your timing. I think everybody knows the end result of Ryan and I's story. God answered our prayers through our 2 beautiful children we have. They are living miracles. We couldn't have done it without all the prayers, all the support from everybody. And I just think every day I look at them and I just watch them. They are miracles. It's because of God. Without him, it wouldn't have been possible. It's pretty easy what our end point is and how he answered our prayers through our children.
When Kyle and I were engaged, I had a medical issue, and we found out that we may have trouble starting a family. We did eventually get pregnant with Jace, our oldest, and had some more medical issues with that, so they did not recommend that we have any more pregnancies. Kyle and I briefly discussed adoption at that point, and right away we were both on board. We were on the same page. I feel like that was a God thing. It wasn't even like a big conversation. I felt really sad because the unknown. I thought siblings would have a lot of things in common. That was one thing I thought I was going to grieve. I felt sad that we weren't going to have kids that look like us. There was just really insignificant things that I thought we were missing out on by not growing our family the quote unquote normal way. We definitely turned to God in prayer and through our community. We had a really close-knit small group at the time we were in Kansas City. We found an adoption consultant, and she had us live with like 25 agencies. We matched with a mom in Arizona, and that failed after a couple months. Felt really confused. We had lost a lot of our savings by matching and then losing that match. And then a week later, we found out that there was a local family looking for an adoptive home for their baby. It was through my parents' prayer group, actually, that we found them, and everything clicked pretty quick after that. The most amazing part was that God didn't use like a typical path to get to where we thought we were going. I have to write down our story and kind of reread it sometimes because you can't put God in a box is what I feel like kept coming back up with this. We thought it should look a certain way. We felt like there weren't a lot of options and God just made it work anyhow.
If you are someone that feels like you're constantly hearing no from God, God has a plan, and it's a big plan. It's a better plan than anything you can even imagine or fathom. It's worth the wait.
Keep your faith in God. He does answer prayers. He's not giving up on you, and you can't give up on him either.
If your situation feels impossible today, God does and can take the impossible and make it possible.